The Sign of 4, 1890. Episode 1, The 7% Solution. Welcome back, detective friend. Our study in Scarlet Adventure has ended, but the world of mysteries never sleeps. Today marks the beginning of our second great investigation together, The Sign of 4. But first, you need to witness something troubling about your consulting detective partner. Picture this. It's a gray July morning in 1888, nearly a year after the Jefferson Hope case. You've just arrived at 221B Baker Street, expecting to find Holmes reviewing case files or conducting experiments. Instead, you discover something that makes your blood run cold. Holmes is seated in his leather armchair, but something is terribly wrong. His usually sharp eyes are glazed and distant. On the side table next to him lies a Morocco leather case containing a hypodermic syringe and a small vial of clear liquid. What's your first instinct, detective friend? Do you confront him immediately, or do you observe and gather more evidence first? Watson enters from his bedroom, fully dressed but moving with obvious concern. He's clearly been dealing with this situation for some time. Holmes, Watson says firmly, it's past noon. That's the third injection this week. Holmes slowly turns his head, a dreamy smile playing on his lips. Ah, Watson, and our detective friend has arrived as well. Perfect timing to witness the enhancement of the human mind through chemistry. This is your first glimpse into Holmes's darker side, detective friend. What questions are racing through your mind right now? Watson's face shows a mixture of medical concern and personal frustration. Enhancement? Holmes, you're injecting yourself with a 7% solution of cocaine. This isn't enhancement, it's self-destruction. My dear fellow, Holmes replies languidly. When there are no cases to stimulate my mind, I must find stimulation elsewhere. The brain rebels against stagnation. Surely you understand the necessity of intellectual exercise. Here's a crucial question for you, detective friend. How would you handle discovering that your brilliant partner has a dangerous addiction? What approach might actually help, rather than simply judge? Watson slams his medical bag down on the table. There are healthier ways to exercise your mind. Read. Write. Compose music. Don't poison yourself. But Holmes waves dismissively. Those activities lack the sharp edge, the immediate clarity that my work requires. Without cases, Watson, I become ordinary. This reveals something profound about Holmes's psychology. What do you think drives this need for constant mental stimulation? Is it genius demanding fuel, or is it something deeper? Perhaps fear of what he might find in quiet moments. You decide to speak up. Holmes, what if I told you there might be a case coming? Would that change your perspective? His eyes suddenly sharpen, the dreamy expression vanishing like morning mist. A case? What kind of case, detective friend? Watson looks surprised but hopeful at your intervention. This shows you the power of the right words at the right moment. Well, you continue. I noticed Mrs. Hudson looking unusually excited this morning. She mentioned expecting an interesting visitor this afternoon, someone who seemed quite desperate for help according to her. Holmes sits up straighter, his entire posture transforming. Desperate cases are often the most intellectually rewarding. Watson, what time is it exactly? 12:30, Watson replies, hope creeping into his voice. Holmes springs to his feet with sudden energy. Then we have time to prepare properly. Detective friend, this could be exactly what we need, a genuine mystery to sink our teeth into. What do you notice about this transformation, detective friend? How quickly Holmes shifts from lethargic addiction to sharp-minded detection when presented with intellectual challenge. But first, Holmes says, carefully placing the syringe back in its case. Perhaps some coffee would be wise. Watson, would you be so kind? As Watson goes to prepare coffee, Holmes turns to you with a more serious expression. Detective friend, you've now seen my greatest weakness. The question is, can you work with a flawed partner, or does this revelation change everything? This is a moment that will define your future relationship with Holmes. How do you respond to discovering that even brilliant people have serious struggles? I appreciate your honesty, you might say. Everyone has challenges. The question is whether we help each other overcome them or let them destroy our partnership. Holmes nods slowly. Wise words, and perhaps Perhaps having a partner who keeps me accountable might be exactly what I need. Not someone who enables or ignores, but someone who challenges me to be better. Watson returns with the coffee, and you notice how much more alert Holmes becomes with each sip. But more importantly, you see how he looks toward the window, watching for potential clients with renewed interest. You know, Holmes muses, perhaps Watson is right about documenting our cases. If people understood the intellectual satisfaction available in proper detection work, they might find healthier ways to challenge their minds. This raises an interesting question for you. What kind of mental challenges do you seek when life becomes too routine? Suddenly, there's a definitive knock at the door. Mrs. Hudson's voice calls up. "Mr. Holmes, there's a young lady here to see you. Says it's quite urgent." Holmes's eyes light up completely now, all traces of his earlier lethargy gone. "Watson, detective friend, it appears our day of intellectual adventure has officially begun. As you prepare to meet this mysterious client, you realize you've learned something crucial about working with brilliant but troubled individuals. Sometimes the best way to help someone overcome their demons isn't through confrontation or judgment, but by offering them something more engaging than their escape. Are you ready, detective friend, to discover what desperate situation has brought this young woman to Baker Street? And are you prepared to help keep Holmes's mind focused on solving mysteries rather than creating new problems for himself? The game is afoot once again,